Okay guys, in this one we're going to be having a look at transformations, but again a little bit more specifically we're going to be looking at rotation. So there's 4 types of transformations you can do to shapes: rotation, translation, enlargement and reflection. So in this one we're going to have a look at rotation. So things you need to know for rotation: you need to know how much you're going to rotate it by. Now, the way this gets described is you get an angle. So you've got 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and sometimes, rarely, but you could have it as 270 degrees. So each one of these, what do they mean? Well, 90 degrees means you do a quarter of a turn. 180 degrees means you do half a turn. Sometimes it's easier to think of it as 2 quarters. So you're rotating it twice. And then 270, 3 quarters, so you're rotating it like 3 times round. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to know, is how much are you rotating it by. The next thing is the direction. Okay, so you've got 2 choices: clockwise, which obviously means you go around to the right, or anti-clockwise, which means you're going round to the left. And the last thing you need to know is the center of rotation. That's just the point at where you're doing your rotation. So let's have a look at an example, which has got this one here. So I'm going 90 degrees, about the point -1, 1, and I'm going clockwise. So let's plot this point. -1, 1, so along the corridor to -1, up the stairs to there. So there's my center of rotation. So that's the first thing I've done. Okay. Now you're definitely going to need a bit of tracing paper for this, and if you haven't got it in the exam, you are entitled to it, so make sure you put your hand up and get your bit of tracing paper. So lay it down, make sure your tracing paper covers the shape and the center of enlargement. And then what you're going to do is you're going to trace your shape. And what I do is I draw a cross, so in line with the y-axis and in line with the x-axis. Why do I do that? Well, when I'm turning it round, 1 turn will be 90, 2 turns would be 180 degrees, and obviously 3 turns would be 270 degrees. So it makes it a bit easier to see your turnings. In this case, I'm going 90 degrees around this point, clockwise. So I'm going to rotate this round. Look at my cross. Some people put their pen there. It's absolutely fine, because I've done a cross. I know exactly where it's going to be. I'm just waiting to do 1 turn. There we go. And then I can see exactly where my shape's going to go, and you can take it off. And because it's a cross, you can put it back as many times as you want to make sure that you get it correct. There we go. Again, I haven't got a ruler, so I'm just going to do this freehand, but in the exam, make sure you use a ruler. And always double check it. So there we go. I'm at -1, 1. Excellent. I'm going clockwise. So I'm going round to the right. 90 degrees, which is a quarter of a turn. So just 1 turn. I'm looking there. There we go. Fab stuff. So there's that one. Next example, guys, is 180 degrees about the origin. Now, some people get confused with this word, the origin. Don't worry. All it means is it's the point 0, 0. Sometimes I might say 0, 0. Sometimes I say the origin, but that's all it means, is that point there. You might notice there's something missing. We haven't got a direction. We don't know whether it's going clockwise or anti-clockwise. The reason being is because it's 180 degrees, and I'll show you what happens now. So again, oh, hang on. So there's the point there, is the origin. Make sure your tracing paper covers the shape and your center of rotation, which it does. So trace the shape. Don't forget to put the cross. Now, it's 180 degrees, so that's 2 turns. So it's 2 quarters, so it's 2 turns. I'm going to go clockwise first. So that's 1 turn. That's 2 turns. So the shape ends up being down here. So I'm just going to put that in. Don't forget, again, because you've done a cross, you can go backwards and forwards as much as you want to make sure that you get it exactly how you want to. So again, I haven't got a ruler, but you guys should use one in the exam. Okay, so that's what happens if I went clockwise. Let's have a look what happens now if I go anti-clockwise, 180 degrees, so 2 turns. There's my first turn, and there's my second turn. Look, it ends up in exactly the same place. So if you're going around 180 degrees, you don't necessarily need a direction because it ends up in the same place. So don't worry if you get a bit confused because you haven't got that, if it's 180 degrees. If it's 90 or 270, of course you do need a direction because it will change your answer. but 180 degrees, you're okay. So that's how you do a rotation. We're now going to have a look at how we describe. So once I put this on here, I'm just going to check it's still on the camera. Yep, that's fine. Okay. So the question is, describe these transformations. So it hasn't said describe this rotation because it wants you to say it's a rotation. That gets you 1 mark, okay? So look at here. I'm describing the shape from A to B. So how do I go from A to B? Now, you know it's not a translation because the shape's actually turned on its side. You know it's not an enlargement because it hasn't got bigger or smaller. Could be a reflection, but if you have a look at it, there's no way that can be a reflection. So we're left with rotation. So that's the first thing to say. It's a rotation. And then you need to come up with the bits of information that we said before. So where is the centre of rotation and how much have you rotated it by, and obviously then the direction. So if I just get a clean bit of tracing paper, first thing to do is to trace shape A, because that's the one we're starting with. And how am I going to rotate it to be? So the first thing I'll do is just literally roughly have a go at rotating like that, and then have a guess, once you've done that a few times, where you think the centre of rotation would be. So I don't know. I'm going to get an actual pen here because otherwise my felt tip pen might not work. So I'm going to start with the origin. Is it the origin? No. If I go at the origin, it doesn't quite work. So try a couple more, see what happens. Let's go up 1. So at the point 0, 1. Ah, brilliant. There we go. It works. So at the point 0, 1, my rotation works. So that's the next thing to say. So it's a rotation at the point 0, 1. And how much by? Well, now we know where the centre of rotation is. It's at 0, 1. We can work it out. So let's put my cross there. How many times have I turned it? You might be able to do this all straight away, to be fair, but just in case you can't, let's do it step by step. So I've only gone 1 turn. There we go. From A to B, I've gone 1 turn, which is obviously 90 degrees. And which direction? Well, I've gone round to the left, so it's anti-clockwise. Okay, so there's my 3 bits of information for 3 marks. Rotation for 1, it's around the point 0, 1 for another mark, and then 90 degrees anti-clockwise gets you that final mark in the exam. Next one, going from A to C. So this one to this one, again, you get a mark for saying rotation. Don't lose that easy mark. Say it's a rotation. There we go, 1 mark in the bag. Again, there's my shape A. Have a little go a few times. Ooh. Where's that one gone? So it's rotated round like that. So this is a really tricky one. So it has rotated. But whereabouts is that? So have a little go and try a few of these out. So I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere around here. I don't exactly know. So I'm going to go in the middle here at 0.21 and see what happens. Oh, there you go. Look, bang on. Look, bang in the middle there. There's my rotation. I've sussed it. So that point there was 2, 1. So let's put that down in our answer. Coordinate 2, 1. And we need to work out how far we've gone now. So on the tracing paper, there's my cross. So there's 1 turn and 2 turns, so it's 180 degrees because it's 2 turns. And again, you can say clockwise, anti-clockwise. It does not matter. You won't lose any marks. You could just leave it like that, or you could say it doesn't matter. You could put both, clockwise or anti-clockwise. Okay. And I've just got this last one here, A to B, because this one is tricky to try and find. So just as before, trace the shape. Let's make sure we say it's a rotation. And this is quite hard to see. If I just do it with the tracing paper, like so, hopefully you can see it's going to be somewhere up here where that rotation is going to be. So just try a few out. I'm going to try that one there. Nope, nearly though. So that's cool. Let's go back. What about this one here? If I move my hand out of the way, no, getting a bit further away. Okay, let's try minus 3, 3. Ah, there we go. There's the winner. Yep, minus 3, 3. Excellent. So let's put that down. Minus 3, 3 is the center of rotation. Let's make a little note of that. Then we need to find out how far it's gone. So put the trace back on there. Put my mark. I'm going A to B, so this one to this one. So I'm rotating it round. It's just gone one turn, so 90 degrees, and I went clockwise. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, what if I went the other way? You're exactly right. You can do it that way. You can go one turn anti-clockwise, 2 turns anti-clockwise, and then 3 turns anti-clockwise. So your answer could be 270 degrees anti-clockwise. That would be exactly the same. That would not be a problem. I've just gone for 90 degrees clockwise because it's only one turn. It's a bit quicker, but you would be right as well by saying 270 degrees anti-clockwise. So hopefully that helps, guys. Cheers for watching.